Coming off a fun battle wild card weekend, what playoffs are all about. We were led dramatically by James Conner, 164 rushing, 2 touchdowns. Jumps, we will hand it off, and open lanes, we take the lead. Bates here on this play, he gets the double, we cut back to the left-hand side, great block downfield as we shuck off the tackle. There goes Conner into the end zone. We also saw what feels like a breakout game from the young middle linebacker in Dennis. 3 TFLs and 2 sacks. We bring a blitz, it's picked up well, though Dennis still gets back there. Shotgun look, we bring the blitz, and it works. Dennis will pick up his 2nd sack. But the game did come with its fair share of trouble. Kyle Pitts scored 2 touchdowns on us. As it's trips up top, though going down to the bottom, and a big hit does not deny the touchdown. He's got time. He's got happy feet for sure. And it's Pitts again. And additionally, Kenny Pickett would throw 2 interceptions, one of which sealed our fate. In 3 to 5 seconds each play, Pickett throws it straight to the defender. That's gonna be a pick 6. The Jags will take the lead. They don't really step down with it. Ball comes up short and it's picked off. Dotson couldn't find it. And that is game. So after the 17-point comeback in the 4th quarter, we are headed to our next offseason. But that would be after another close game in the Super Bowl, though the Falcons would pull off the win, their first ever Super Bowl, with Josh Jacobs' help leading the way as he was a Super Bowl MVP. They defeat the Chiefs 38-35. And right after, we would have a retiree of Daquan Jones. He stepped in and filled out a pretty good role as that 2nd DT for us. Now we will have to look to fill that position. But in the following closed free agency, it would not go very well for us as pretty much no one wanted to re-sign. And there were some players which I was definitely wanting to re-sign. Obviously, first and foremost, Brian O'Neill. Maddox maybe will look to be a backup as we move forward, but I was wanting to keep around Brandon Smith. Low interest, though we might be able to bring him back in open free agency. But as for now, I think we might need to look at franchising O'Neill, so we'll lock him down. Now, we were able to get a player to re-sign with us, and it is none other than the former guard turned fullback. Brandon Graham will be with us through the remainder of this series. Now, as for open free agency, it would go a lot more smoothly for us than the closed free agency. We got all of our targets, though there weren't a whole lot for us to really go after. We do bring in Tyler Boyd. He'll help add a veteran presence to that receiver group. Just give our quarterback another option, which we'll talk about shortly. Brandon Smith does return, as well as Ryland and Jacob Martin. We still have a couple holes on the team, and hopefully the draft will help fill those needs. Now, speaking of prospects for the draft, talked a little bit, hinted at more likely, with the quarterback. And what we would talk about later, well, this is that talk. Charles Halen, 6'2", 210, 22 years old, out of Maryland. He doesn't look like he's gonna be, a dominant quarterback, but he's got some pretty good athleticism. There's some solid throw power, and across the board, pretty decent accuracies. Don't think he's gonna come in here and immediately take Pickett's spot, but this is the best quarterback prospect we've had, and having a much more developed backup could at least rival that of Pickett's time. But across the board, this is a pretty light draft class. Only 12 total prospects, though there are some good ones. And there is Jaylen Brown, a 2 to 3 round projection, though actual talent is 1 to 2. So a 2nd round pick seems like a good spot to pick him up. He's leaning towards the zone side. All in all, it's a solid athlete, not leading the group, but he's got B zone coverage, B press, with a little bit of some man coverage at C, A awareness, B block shit. He's got some hit power. Tackling is okay, but he is injury prone. Outside of the few guys we've talked about, not really a whole lot here. There is a slightly interesting prospect here at tight end in Quantavious Knighton. We don't need a real help at that spot, but maybe a late round pick. Let's jump into the draft, see how the board falls, and move forward, though I expect some trades to appear here very shortly. Now, in terms of the picks we have available, no first round pick, but we do have a 2, 3, 4, 2 fifth round picks, and a 6 and a 7. So we could definitely try to move around a little bit. Maybe in the 3rd or 4th round, we see if there's another team who has a DT that we could use. Our options are very much going to be open and flexible, but I feel like if available, with this second pick, we go after the quarterback. So with that being said, let's quickly jump to our selection, as we will not be trading up. We're not forcing anything here for sure, but let's go to our pick and see if he's available. And there would be no drama. Charles Hallen is available round 2 to 3. I feel like late second round where we're picking fits the ratings we're seeing here. We need that backup quarterback to put pressure on Pickett or to take his spot. Charles Hallen is the draft. He's a normal dev with 89 throw power, but does have 88 speed with 90 acceleration and 91 change of direction. Now into the 3rd round, obviously we went with the quarterback earlier, so the corner that we were looking at, who was that round 1 to 2 projection, he's very much gone. And none of these guys really seem to be worth that 3rd round pick. So let's shop the league a little bit. And while looking at both players and picks, the one that would fit the best, I feel, is for a pick bundle. With the San Francisco 49ers, we'll give them this year's 3, but we'll take next year's 3 and 2 5s. So no 3rd round pick for us. And honestly, with the 4th rounder, we'll look to do the same, and the Bears have an interesting one. Again, we'll give up our 4th round this year, we'll bring in a 4th and 6th next year, and we'll add a 2nd, 7th round pick for this year. But as we would get to the 5th round, this is where we will finally make a selection. Now, this is a potential undrafted off-ball backer in Jalen Howard. He doesn't seem to be top-tier talent whatsoever, but there's some key ratings here that I think he could develop, and we need some depth. So I think this will be a good spot to go after him, lock him down on a long-term deal. Howard is a normal dev linebacker, 87 speed and acceleration. And we'll look to partner him with another player I feel like could play the same spot. Jay Burrell, listed as a run support strong safety, 6 foot 208. He's 24 years old. He's a little bit on the slower side for what I prefer with safeties, but he's got some bench press ratings that I think could transition to off-ball linebacker. It's a long term here, but the ratings don't seem to match for an actual safety, but maybe would match more for a cover linebacker. So we'll give Jay Burrell an opportunity, at least, as he's a normal dev, 86 speed, 87 acceleration. Now, as we would get to our 6th round pick, pretty much everyone on our board has already gone. We're left with 2 guys, and I can tell you, Larry Brooks doesn't look very good. So Quantavious Knighton, an interesting talent here at tight end. A little bit of some speed and power to his game. He's very raw, that's for sure, but he has some pretty solid ratings in the catching. We're going to draft him. We need some depth, so he'll be our final selection. And he's coming in with 76 speed, 84 acceleration, a little bit of some strength. We'll see if he makes the final roster this year. And for those last 2 remaining 7th round picks, we'll trade him to the Commanders and bring in a 6 and 7 for next year. And the draft class would end, honestly, in a way that I very much thought it would. Charles Hallen, solid overall, could rival for a little bit of some time if Pickett struggles. Now, the accuracies, they're really nothing special, and he needs to work on them, but this is a really solid point, and if he could play well, then that's fine by me. As for Jalen Hayward, he's a 66 overall, and he's coming in with a little bit of a balanced skill set, definitely some room to grow, but honestly, this is very similar to what we had with Dennis and Smith when they started, and they've both played pretty well. As for Jay Burrell, moving him from safety to that off-ball backer, he's a 62 overall, and there's definitely some room to improve. He's probably going to be practice squad, but we need to find someone here to try to develop, and there wasn't much on the open market, so we find it in the draft. And for our final selection in Knighton, true 59, so he's definitely headed to the practice squad. There's some raw talent there. Hopefully he could hone that while getting reps with the Essential, the third team. Now getting ready to start season 4. That means we've got one last draft available for us in this challenge, 2 full seasons to win a Super Bowl. And I took a look at this draft class, and there is not a whole lot. There is an early round running back, and we might need some help at running back, but Eric Randall out of Pittsburgh, he's 5'8", 191. I don't think he's going to be a power back. That's not going to fit scheme. There's a day 3 receiver, a first round tackle, though I feel comfortable with who we have at tackle. There is a round 2 to 3 corner, and while that could be good, really good size at 6'3", it's not a big necessity here for us. So with the picks we have left for essentially the remainder of this series, I think we could look to maybe make some big trades. So looking at our lineup, I think an area of big need for us is defensive line. We've got the top 3 guys, and I honestly can't really even say top, but we have 3 starters. But when it goes to the nickel, we really don't have that next guy who could step up. So I think defensive line is a need. On top of that, if we can pull off multiple trades, I think running back is an area where we could use some help as well. Stallings is injury prone. While he has shown some good signs while out there, he also has 87 injury. He's already missed time in this series. The trucking and break tackle, it looks good, but he's not gonna, I don't think, be able to have the same workload as we had with Connor, who starting this year, he already had some injuries. He's down to a 73. I'm just not sure he's going to be the same running back we have seen. His injury is at an 80 even, so it's worse. If there's another running back, all the better, but I think we focus towards defensive line. And while obviously there is a really good defensive lineman here, Micah Parsons out of Penn State, he is a 99 overall superstar. I've looked into making trades. It is not possible with us only having 3 years worth of picks and us not having multiple first rounders in each of those seasons. So there won't be a trade for Micah Parsons. However, there is Hassan Reddick. Now he's on the older side, 31 star dev, but he still has both finesse and power rush ability, a little bit of some block shed. I think he'd be able to help us out on the edge, and when we go to the nickel set or any 4 fronts, then Cansey can move down to a rush DT. And he's also been producing the last couple of years. 15 tackles for a loss, 9.5 sacks, 14 tackles for a loss, 9 sacks. That could be a big boost for our defense. And we'll be able to send them a current 2 and 3, and it'll get the job done. We might have been able to get a late round pick back, but I wasn't going to be too nitpicky. Let's get the job done, as currently the draft picks that we have, they're not going to help us. Now, additionally, talked about help that we could use at running back, Saquon Barkley. He's still very highly rated. He's an X-Factor running back. He does have still that injury concern. It's an 82. But with multiple running backs, I feel like he would be able to fit in much better and provide even a little bit of some catching out of the backfield help for Kenny Pickett. And we have added Saquon Barkley. Now, this was a much bigger deal. We've had to give up our 2027 first round pick and third round pick. In next year's draft, you have to give up the first and second, and then in 2029, the second round pick. Now, we weren't going to be able to draft at all in any of these drafts, so these picks are strictly made for trades. Now, that does mean we have cuts to make, and the first will be James Conner. He's in his regression. With Israel, we have a little bit of a change of pace back. The primary 2, they're going to be Saquon and Stallings, so we don't need the 4. Appreciate, though, the work that James Conner did in this series. Without him, our offense really wouldn't have done much. Additionally, we will be releasing Sam. I'm not going to say the last name because I'm going to butcher it, so we will be releasing him. 28 years old, 65. If we could have added him to the practice squad, we would have. But with those trades, we are now set to get season 4 underway. Not much change really took place. We did add Tyler Boyd in the offseason, and obviously we just traded for Saquon Barkley. We're still going to be first and foremost running the ball. Hopefully now with the added talent around Pickett, he's going to pick things up. Defensively, really not much changed at all. We just ended up bringing in Hassan Reddick. He will end up playing the left rush. Gross Matos will be right rush. And then Givens and Cansey, they're going to play the interior pass rush. Everyone else is staying exactly as we've had in the years prior. And hopefully we get ourselves back to the playoffs. But as for season 4, it begins against the Texans with Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. And we jump in first drive. We are down to the 30. We've seen a good blend of run and pass to get us down to this point. As an interesting number for Saquon Barkley. I might change that. 37, that does not seem right. We'll see what the options are as we go into the next game, but he picks up 2, leaving 2nd and 8. As we go to the play action roll, coming across Brenton Strange, slips 1, not getting by the 2nd. It's a gain of 3. Leaving 3rd and 5 at the 25. Kenny Pickett back in shotgun. He's got his tight end Okonkwo to the top of the line, 3 receivers down below. As he'll go across the middle into tight coverage, it's broken up. But with that, we'll send out Ryland looking for a field goal to start the year. This one from the 32, a 42-yarder down the middle. But Mahomes would have the Texans answering back quickly. Now they're down to the 38. They go 2 spread either side, looking to air out the ball as Mahomes goes deep downfield, tipped away at the last second by Nick Cross. He's been starting since, I want to say it was either his rookie or 2nd year with us here. Done pretty well at safety, 2nd and 10. Going back again through the air, though short across the middle, picking up 6. Jake Ferguson, the reception artist there, as it leaves 3rd and 4, a chance to force a field goal with a stop. 2 receivers up top, they motion out Swift, make it an empty set for Mahomes, who was a threat to scramble as well. We bring an extra rush, he throws to an open target is Myers. Was in that slot at the top, now down to the 15. Need to do our best here to just allow a field goal attempt as we maybe will get a snap here and will before the end of the first quarter. It's Swift stretching. He's got a lane and Cross, not the best tackler. DeAndre Swift takes the lead as we head into the 2nd quarter. But for the first time this season, we'll be jumping out here with the offense as we have a 4th and 2. Hard count, no one jumps. Down the middle, we hand it off, and Barkley will run through the defender, picking up that 1st down. He also had a gain of, I want to say, 25 through the air on this drive as well, getting us to midfield, obviously now well past it. Play action here for Kenny Pickett, who has some indecision, and Okonkwo couldn't reel it in, though honestly a pretty spot throw from Kenny Pickett. He really just put it where only his guy could get it. As we go downfield, it's behind, but drawn in this time by Okonkwo, though Rashid Walker shaken up on the play, already going to test our depth along the offensive line. That should bring out Ryan Bates, typically center, but having to go play some left tackle. We bring out the heavy set, all the tight ends to help block as Saquon, he finds some space and goes untouched to the end zone. We traded for him right before the season got underway, and in his first game, makes his first marks on the challenge. And not too many plays later, just 4 with a penalty in there. It's an interception, pick 6, Joey Porter Jr. Widening our lead, make it 17-7. That has Mahomes fired up as just 2 plays later, they are down to the 34. 2 quick strikes through the air. Make it a 3rd, as it is held on to that time. Benford not able to rip it away from DJ Moore, who is an eligible receiver for us here. Maybe with some of our last remaining high-end picks, that could be one final signing to try to boost the offense. We will see. I say signing, more of a trade, actually. Knocked out of Jacoby Myers' hands is Porter. Obviously, made the big play not too long ago. 2nd and 10 at the 19. It's a heavy set As Mahomes hands it off, Swift down the middle takes a shot from Dennis. 3rd and 8. Empty set, trips down below, 2 up top for Mahomes. As quite obviously, he's going to look to scramble down the middle. He cuts, and Whitehead doesn't collapse quick enough. Talked about Mahomes having the ability to run on the previous drive. He does this drive, keeping it alive. With a 1st and goal at the 8. Motioning out Swift again. Also have Ferguson down to that side, but they run into the 2-minute warning. So far this one, a very close, competitive game. Only big difference was that pick 6 from Joey Porter Jr. Tight look this time, Mahomes. Across the middle, not getting into the end zone is Jacoby Myers, marked about an inch or so shy, actually, just inside the 1. Interesting spot on it, as they will go to Swift, stacked up, but finding the goal line. Dennis couldn't bring him down in time, as it's drawn back by the Texans. Make it 17-14, about a minute and a half left, and we've got all of our timeouts. We've got to be aggressive this year, try to beat some of these big teams to get ourselves back in the playoffs. Though 1st down, they lock us down. Kenny Pickett only 5 of 10 throwing. Got to get our receivers open here, get some plays flowing, as we can't just rely on Saquon, and it's thrown straight to the Texans cornerback in Lenore. A chance for them to not only tie, but now take the lead. And apparently we're jumping into this next play as it sent us straight in. So 1st and 10 at the 34, Mahomes. He's gonna get sacked back towards midfield. Gross Matos. And straight back to it. All right, we're just running a drive here, I guess, with the defense. 2nd and 21 as Mahomes will continually look to air it out, though scrambling, sliding in front of Dane Jackson. They'll end up calling their first timeout. 3rd and 13. 2 tight ends to the bottom, 2 receivers up top, though motioning out Swift to that bottom. They've sent him in motion quite a lot in this one. Mahomes once again on the move, as here comes the rush of Cansey, forcing the throwaway. Now we'll jump forward from that point, as they actually chose to punt thereafter. We didn't do anything prior to halftime. We're now a couple minutes into the 3rd. And yet again, the Texans driving, trying to reclaim their lead and erase essentially what was the pick 6. That's really the only thing separating these two teams today. Now down to the 23, they go with a heavy set. Swift down the middle. Not a whole lot of space, though. He fought for every yard there, making it 3rd and 2, in which it will be a shotgun set for Mahomes. He's already scrambled around a good little bit today. He's got a bunch down below, 1 up top, and DJ Moore. Looking to throw across the middle, it's Jacoby Myers. Picked up the 1st down. Already his 4th catch, averaging 10 yards per catch, a little bit over 10 yards. As they will go back to Swift thereafter, Whitehead getting the quick tackle. So far, Swift has collected all of their points to this point, and he's averaging about 5 yards a rush, though goes out on a route here as they find Jake Ferguson and find the lead yet again. It's been a good battle here in week 1, trying to reclaim a lead. As we come out here with a spread empty look going up top, we have a Conquo, stiff arm, and dragged down inside the 10 at the 8. A pretty strong way to send us to the 4th quarter. A whole lot of back and forth action, though we're hoping to take charge here in the 4th quarter as we start at the 8. Saquon goes weak side run. Down the middle, he picks up a couple. Can't say it's been a dominating start for him, but getting to learn a new offense in about a week, that's tough to ask for any of one. As Pickett looking to drop back, he throws to the bottom and diving catch down at the 1 for Godwin. Looked like he caught that in the end zone, though they say he didn't. So goal line set, 3rd and goal. Saquon, he gets a block, it's lofted, and this time Godwin, no. My bad, misread a number. It's a Conquo who pulls us back in front. Strong set of plays there at the goal line. Now we just need our defense to get a stop. 24-21, less than 6 seconds remaining. Swift down the middle gets stacked up by Dennis. DJ Moore unfortunately shaken up on the play. Makes it hard to celebrate it when Dennis just had a fantastic play, took on the block and got the tackle all by himself. He's been a phenomenal linebacker for us. 2nd and 9, they go spread empty. We bring a blitz, they throw Ferguson right behind it. That's a big chunk play down to the 26. Really nothing flashy here from Mahomes. He's just taking the simple plays, and that's what the best quarterbacks do. Play action, though they hand it off actually. Looked like it might have been an option route, RPO. They end up picking up 3 on it, leaving 2nd and 7. Bunched down to the bottom, Ferguson up top. Looks like he might be calling for it there. Had that hand moving, but instead they go back down the middle to Swift, who will pick up 2. He's a running back that provides a lot of big plays, but also sometimes he just gets stacked up, and we've seen both of those today. 3rd and 5, we bring the blitz, but it's up top again to a wide open. I can't tell if that's a tight end or just a really big receiver. Cohen, I believe that's a drafted tight end, if I'm not mistaken, but he's got him another 1st down at the 14. Toss to Swift up top. Dennis in pursuit. Quick tackle, gain of 1. Honestly, he's rocking the 52 in a proud way here for the Ravens. 2nd and 9. Mahomes looking to throw. Here comes the pass rush. Getting back again is Gross Matos, but split that one with Cansey as well. Need that tandem to step up this year with the decreased interior that we now have. 3rd and 19. Mahomes rolling towards the top, though. Here they come again. Gross Matos, as well as I believe that was Patrick Jones teaming up. Major loss. Back to the 37. They've punted from here before, and they will punt again. Still down 3. We've got to run some clock. This is Saquon's time to take us to the win. And to make sure there's no shenanigans in the play calling, we of course are jumping out here. I don't want the ball in Kenny Pickett's hands. All he needs to do is hand off the ball. We've got running backs galore. And honestly, we've only seen one of them so far in this one. Stallings has not seen the field. As it's Saquon, some hesitation, spins, make it 3rd and 5, and a decision to make. You either try to hand it off, pick up that 1st down, or potentially look to throw. We have an RPO dialed up here. Godwin with a couple lead blockers, or Saquon. It will be Saquon, no double to backer, and it's stuffed. A big showing from the Texans defense. So Mahomes will get another opportunity. But we know that they need to be very close for that game-tying field goal. We only send 4. Mahomes, he dumps it off. There's Jacoby Myers with a gain of 8. Quick stop. They have 1 timeout remaining. So they're going to have to save that until probably close to the end here. Spreading wide. Mahomes looking to throw. Quick throw through the hands of DJ Moore. Back from his injury their last drive. Maybe coming into play on that catch. Leaves him with 3rd and 2. It's a tight set here. Thrown and brought in for the first, Jake Ferguson. He's had a pretty good one. And in this game, he's found a lot of space. 1st and 10 now into plus territory. Mahomes, clean pocket, rifling it past his open target. Apparently Ferguson not too happy with Dennis on that, though. It looked more like it's his quarterback's fault. Does stop the clock, 1:03. 2nd and 10. They change up the form here. Still 2 spread either side. Mahomes checks down to the flat where he does find Ferguson this time. And, you know, the kicking is so bad they didn't even want us to see it. So no idea where he needs to get, but it's definitely inside the 35. As it's picked off by Whitehead with 1 timeout. That is game. It's a strong showing in week 1. A close game, but against a really good Texans team. We came out and put together a great game. Saw a little bit of all assets of this team. Some things to clean up, mostly on Pickett's side. But all in all, a good start to our season. And we'd keep the train rolling into the next week where we would win 31-21 against the Kansas City Chiefs. And that came with us having less offensive yards than they did. Now in this one, Kenny Pickett played a clean game. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 73% completion. That's what we need from him. Josh Allen, he played a pretty good game, though we forced another interception. We need turnovers this year, that's for sure. Saquon Barkley had a great game, 23 carries, 112, 2 touchdowns. In the receiving game, Mooney, not too bad. He scored a touchdown as well as Evan Ingram. Tight ends always give this team problems. Godwin, 5 catches, 55 yards. I mean, pretty consistent, just not a whole lot of big plays. As we also gave up a touchdown to Deontay Johnson. Jahan Dotson did get a touchdown as well as Brenton Strange. Love to see him still making plays. And then defensively, well, Holcomb had himself a pretty good game. But for us, Dennis, 2 TFLs, gotta love to see that. Hassan Reddick got a tackle for a loss, which was the sack. Gross Matos, he's back again. A great start to the year for him. Cansey is still making some plays. All in all, really good start. And the interception went to Joey Porter. He's had an interception in each game to start this year. And I have a feeling that it's either going to be him or maybe Gross Matos, who's getting a tandem breakout on defense. And it would be thanks to that of Porter. So Benford, he is getting the opportunity to show what he can do. And I think we're going to go for the ratings boost. He's not much of an interception guy. The last time I said that, you got a pick 6. So if you could get that, great. But right now, heading into divisional play, I think we're going to give ourselves a little bit of a boost here. With one, getting some XP for Joey Porter Jr., but also getting a little bit for Benford along the way. He's going to get +3 man and zone as we head into Cleveland. And before we could really even jump on into this one, it is an interception for Sir Dennis. We are starting at the 18. The plan was to focus a bit more on the defense and see if Benford could make his plays. Well, his teammates around him, they're making some big ones, and you could see a new number being rocked by Saquon Barkley. I had to go all the way back to his high school days to find a number that would work, and he wore 21, so he's now re-wearing that number. Kenny Pickett avoids the rush. He had Jahan Dotson, who didn't catch it, but there is going to be a DPI call, so put the ball at the 1. A chance to make this 21-3. It is goal line versus goal line. We get a massive push, and Saquon can get clotheslined in the end zone as we extend our lead up big here at home versus the Browns. And as I hit the button a little too quickly, our 21-3 lead would not last that long, as second one from the top, Devin White, pick 6. Kenny Pickett still struggling with that accuracy. The good news is the offense is still rolling outside of him, back down into scoring range. As it's RPO, we swing it up top. There goes Jahan Dotson down inside the 15, gets us to the 13. Gotta love when we can pick up some big plays like that. Going back to Saquon after. He's down the middle, he picks up 4. 12 rushes, 57 yards, and a touchdown, meaning a majority of our points have actually come through the air. So Kenny Pickett, while he threw a pick 6, he's at least got a couple touchdowns. And all we ask for is him to keep getting those touchdowns. Avoid the turnovers this year. 2 tight ends to the top. Actually, it looked like it might have been 2 tight ends and a receiver. Kenny Pickett doesn't know where to go. He scrambles, and well, he found where to go. Wide open spaces. Kenny Pickett runs it on in. And with that, we'll get to the end of this one. A couple more touchdowns scored on either side. But for us, it was a dominant start. 35-24 is that final score. But it really was entirely in our hands the whole time. Oh, while the win was great, was it good enough to also get the job done for Benford? Well, he came to this week feeling good. Well, it was at least good enough here to get him some XP. But now looking for the perfect start to the season, 3-0, we face another rival in the Steelers, who have started in the opposite manner, 0-3. And we have yet another breakout. This time, it's defense. Is it still going to be maybe Benford now with that opportunity? Or Gross Matos? It is back to Benford. All right, bud. Good start so far. Can we keep it going? You got the XP. Now we're going to need you to get 2 turnovers against the Steelers to boost the entire defense. Once again here we jump in, starting in the second half, though we are down this time 14-7. And it's not a good throw for us to first see from Kenny Pickett, though that was only his second incompletion in this game. 2nd and 10 will come out with a single back set, tight formation, Pickett making a check at the line, as it will be a throw, at least attempted, though Kenny Pickett spins into the pass rush. It's a loss of 3, bringing up 3rd and 13. We go spread empty. Bunch down below, 2 up top. Need around that 26 as it's lofted, finding 82. Boyd. First time we've seen him make a play. It's his first catch of the game. He took a shot, and I think so did Pickett, but it keeps the drive alive here. Trying to level this game up. We go 2 tight ends to the bottom, 1 receiver either side, to the flat. That is Brenton Strange picking up the first down. He gets us down to the 11. I love seeing the heavy tight end sets to start. That was really the emphasis of this offense, was run game and 2 tight end sets. We've got good tight ends. Let's utilize them as Pickett, he looks to run again. Headed for the end zone. He crosses the goal line with the stretch. Kenny Pickett getting the job done on the ground to start the year. Though, maybe not. We're going to have to take a second look here. Knee comes down, and I think this one might be coming back to about the half-yard line. Can't tell from that angle, but that first looked like it was probably going to get called back. And indeed, that will be the case. Still a great run there from Pickett. Love the effort. And he's gotten the job done still on the ground. Now we need our other ground game to finish, and we lose about 3.5 yards. Matt Milano gets a tackle behind Saquon. Now with a 2 receiver set, we bring out the big fullback in Graham. Right back down the middle, stacked up 57. That is Pratt with a big hit on Saquon. Now 3rd and goal. It's a 3 tight end set. As we go back to Saquon, he shakes 1, but denied. 4th and goal. We can't let this team take away our touchdown. 4th and goal. We could try to double the backer, and honestly, it looks pretty good. We're just going to have to make a couple checks at the line. Need the double there. Mike back is Pratt. Will we get it this time? Not even close. It's Chin on the blitz, and Israel got dumped. It's a turnover, no points. It was a massive stop for the Steelers, but our defense forces the 3 and out, and we're right back into attacking form. Try to get the touchdown this time. As here comes the rush. Steelers are bowing up down in the red zone. Gotta find our way through and level this game as we are into the 4th quarter. Go the weak side run. Saquon, he runs through Milano. Flag comes in rather late. Not sure who this is going to be on, and it's going to back us up. It's Rashid Walker caught grabbing too much of that jersey late on. So 2nd and 18. Let's go with a little bit of some play action. Flood one side of the field. Get this out to Strange, who will get the catch, about halving the distance for 3rd. By no means was it a bad play, though. We might have had another option downfield for the first down. We're going to try to leak Okonkwo to the right-hand side on this play action. Though they stick with him pretty well. Looking for the wheels of Kenny Pickett, picking up that first down in the process. And I'm sure he'd love to get his touchdown. He was denied last time. 1st and goal. Big boy Graham motioning all the way to the outside. As Saquon, he's taking the stretch. We don't get to that second level. Pratt forces the fumble, though. It looked like Saquon was down easy. There better be a booth review coming in for this one. And indeed, they will be. So I definitely imagine this one is going to be coming back, so let's expedite it. And indeed, our hunch, not even really hunch, what we knew was correct. So 2nd and goal, RPO. As we go back to Saquon, he spins off of another, trucks the air, and keeps those legs going. He would not be denied. Following the not fumble, we finally level this game up in the 4th. The defense has played a good game, only 14 points. Now we need them to get one more stop and allow us to find the winner. Jefferson picks up 5 on 2nd, needing 5 more. It's thrown away by Kyler Murray. It will be a 3 and out. We'll start at the 20, needing some points. Now Chad Ryland. He surprised us in the playoff game. We all knew 39 from last year, but he said he's now good from 40, as there's a big truck stick coming from Saquon. That rush puts him over 100 on the day, but now we need to get to the 40-yard line. That is it for at least a field goal, and we're letting the clock run in between each and every one of these plays. Tyler Boyd, he takes the jet sweep. He spins off, staying in bounds, and he picks up 10. This offense starting to feel like it's a complete group. As we're inside 3 minutes left, they bring the blitz. Saquon gets stacked up, but broke away. Unfortunately, just more guys there to corral. Needing to move the ball at least another 15 or so yards. We approach the 2-minute warning. Have to snap at least the ball one more time prior to that. Coming across, we got our tight end, Okonkwo, as he will get us down inside field goal range. So with that, we'll let the 2-minute warning hit. Set to run some more clock and either find a touchdown or simply set up the field goal. It's really all we need here. All points are nice to score. Really what it comes down to ultimately is winning these games. Stallings checks in, a little bit of some fresh legs here laid on. As he's right down the middle, it opens up, keeping those legs moving. Honestly, having him learn behind Saquon Barkley, that seems like a fantastic tandem. Timeout starting to be called by the Steelers, though it's Stallings right back down the middle. The ground and pound to wear out the timeouts and bring us hopefully home with another win. A perfect start to the season. On the lines here as it's Stallings cutting to the left-hand side. Nearly picking up that first down, leaves 3rd and 1. As no timeouts remain here for the Steelers. Back down the middle, Stallings trying to set up the field goal as we will let this clock run. And with about 20 seconds left, Ryland will put us in front. And all we need is the defense to not let Justin Jefferson go make another Hall of Fame play. As Kyler Murray throwing up top, throws it in bounds. They don't have any timeouts. This is the final play. As time hits 000, Kyler Murray rolls, throws, swatted down. He never even went to Justin Jefferson, and that is game. The perfect episode as we go 4-0 to start season 4. Well, it could be a perfect episode here. I feel like we were really close as a unit. Everyone's on the same page and the confidence is there. We just need to show it on the field, keep working. Not sure if this is positive or not, and no real indication. So with that, we won't let it stain what was a really good episode then. It just an all right, solid performance. I mean, defense only gave up 14 points, right? Maybe we didn't force the turnovers, but really getting 3 and outs after 3 and outs, that came up clutch and is good enough for me. As we finish the first quarter of the season, we are 4-0. The Bengals, who we will face quickly, probably with that first game. Next episode, we'll probably sim through the Buccaneers one as they are 1-3. The Bengals 3-1, Browns 1-3, and the Steelers 0-4. If we can continue this hot start, the Bengals can back up off our tail a little bit. We could finish off the regular season of season 4 next episode. If we do, hopefully that means that we are going into the playoffs yet again, searching for that Super Bowl win. So make sure you don't miss it. Hit that bell icon either in the bottom right, or you can scroll down and hit that sub button down below. They both do the same thing. And if you tick the bell icon, you'll be notified of when this series or any of my videos goes live. This series every single Tuesday and Thursday, and we start a new series tomorrow. As if you did not see yesterday's long video, the Carolina Panthers franchise has finally come to its end. Not really sure if finally is the right term there. We went through 88 episodes, mini seasons, and in that last episode, we finished off the storyline for all of our favorite players. So if you didn't see it, go check it out. It's a long one. Grab a snack, whatever you do for a very long video. That one is around an hour and a half. But we'll be back next time, and hopefully we continue to see this dominant style play that we've opened up season 4 with.